Okay. We are reviewing Firefly Lane book versus TV show this time. So we'll have spoilers through this all because I've read the book. Andrea, you've read and seen the movie? You've done both.
I read the book and then I watched part of the show, and I don't know if I will keep watching it.
And then Kelly has watched the whole show. So this is like a really good mix of experiences right now. So I really feel like I should have washed my hair today, but anyways, just go with it. Okay, so the book. I'll tell the synopsis of the book, and then maybe Kelly, you can say if it completely differs from.
Okay.
So, book follows Kate and Tully. Tully has had a rough upbringing and has kind of like moved from place to place, ends up living across the street from Kate, who's the same age. They're kind of different. Like, Tully is, I would say, more of like a popular girl, wears tight clothes, kind of trendy, and Kate is more like sheltered, like likes to read books, more introverted versus extroverted. And so the story follows them from, I'd say, like freshman year, like they're like teenagers up until college. And then when they like get their first jobs, they both want to be reporters at first. And then Kate ends up falling for her boss. They get married, even though he's already slept with Tully. And Kate thinks like the whole time that he still loves, or he's like still infatuated with Tully, but they get married, have kids, and ultimately they have a falling out, which is kind of like a big spoiler, I think. But anyways, they have a big issue and they don't talk for months. Kate gets cancer, and then they kind of rekindle, and um, Tully comes back into their life, and then Kate dies. Kelly, what is? Am I missing anything huge, Andrea?
I don't think so. Kate's parents did adopt Tully. I don't know. I thought that was an interesting piece.
It's kind of
But
they
yeah,
kind of
other
have like
than
this
that,
friendly competition going on with life. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Kate kind of always envied Tully. Tully kind of did her own thing, but was really dependent on Katie at the same time.
Yeah. So I think I watched the whole thing. I don't
You
remember
probably did.
I don't remember Kate dying.
She
What?
probably didn't because they're gonna try to keep the show going.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I the show adds a lot more drama, I think, and it like I feel like the show hits all those kind of, but like adds a lot of drama and flair to the supporting characters, I guess. Like there's a lot said about the Kate and whatever the guy she married. What anybody know his name? The husband?
What's his
John?
name?
Is it John?
Johnny.
No.
John-
Yeah,
Johnny.
Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny. Okay. There's like a lot of drama or tension or friction or something. There's a whole
Well,
storyline. And then the
the
kid,
the like major part that I noticed, I haven't watched very much of it, is that they're getting divorced in
yeah.
the show. And
What?
that's
I
not
think
even a thing in the
no,
book.
I think in the show, like the whole show, they are divorced,
Yeah,
but
separated.
it jumps back and forth timeline wise to like you soon find out where he is, why they got divorced, how they got together. It goes back to so the
Yeah.
timeline's weird. They're divorced the whole time in the show, but there's like flashbacks constantly. And then they
Yeah,
just have
so
one daughter.
Oh, they have three children in the book, a daughter and
yeah.
twin boys.
They have one daughter and they're divorced. Um,
Is the daughter a bitch in the show too? She's mean in the book.
Oh, I don't
Mhm.
remember having a huge role, but
Hmm.
she's kind of sour, and I think I don't know, there's some storyline there that I think they added there, and then Tully like randomly gets married, is pregnant at, and I don't
What?
want to say an old age, but an older, like I know once you hit 35, the doctors are like, you're a geriatric pregnancy. And I'm like, can we not use that word? So I think she's older than 35 because I think for some reason when I was watching the show, I got a feeling that it was like a high risk
I thought she
pregnancy.
was like 40 in the
I think
show
she
or
I think
something.
she is. I just know she has to be over 35 because of the way they talked about this pregnancy. She miscarries. It's like devastating for her. So she just randomly gets divorced from the guy. Like
Oh
I
my
feel
God.
like they got married. I don't know. And then like there's a lot of drama between her and her talk show because she's now like super famous in America.
Okay, so
And
that's the same in the book.
yeah.
She's like a workaholic and does
Mhm.
reach a
Yeah.
like really high level of fame and whatnot.
Yeah. There's like a lot of legal storyline there. Yeah, it just, and everybody just seems so obsessed with Johnny. I'm like,
Is he
whoa.
attractive in the
Yeah.
show?
I personally not my style, but they
Yeah,
cast
he's okay.
an attractive guy where I feel like I'm not surprised, I guess, that people are like, oh, Johnny. And he has an accent too. You know how people are with accents. I think he's Australian, isn't he? Yeah, he's
Oh,
from Australia in the show.
he is not from Australia in the book. Andrea, why did you stop watching it? Like, at what point were you like, no more of this?
Okay, so like I started watching. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. There's so many weird things that happen that are not in the book. So A, the divorce thing started. A, then B, their dog dies, and it's like a whole episode, and that's not even in the book. Um, so Kate has a miscarriage in the book, but that doesn't even happen in the show. And then it was just so much drama. Like it was just so drama compared to the book that I was just like, I just don't feel like watching it. Like I'm not like I'm never gonna watch it, but I'm just like I just don't feel like watching it. Plus Shadow and Bone came out, so there's that. So
The So I think I was on maternity leave, which is why I've seen this because I think I would have stopped watching it too. Because Kate in the show is very like sniveling or like just constant reassurance is needed for her. Like
she's like
she's
that in the
constantly
book too.
insecure or like second guessing, and like they got divorced and every time he's like, hey, how's our kid, she's like, oh, maybe he's in love again. Like it's just like, oh my god, dude, like she's so frustrating to watch. I'm like, you guys got divorced, like it is very rare for two people, it happens, but it's extremely rare for two people to get divorced, live apart for years and then get remarried and live happily. It just doesn't happen very often.
I
So
thought
I don't.
their, oh, sorry. I thought their whole story of how they got together in the book was so pathetic. Like, I really
It,
wanted to tell her, like,
Yes.
you
yes.
need to get a little more.
She's like pining over this guy, and then he like calls her Tully, and then he gets drunk and sleeps with Tully, and then she's like, hey, I like you. And he's like in love with her now. I'm like, what is even
But
happening?
he's not, and like she, the whole, all the flashbacks and stuff, she overlooked or like ignored so many things that I'm like, oh, this poor, I feel bad for her because I know it happens to girls or I don't know what, that, and he's not even that cool. Like I don't get it. She just really let a lot of stuff slide and it carried over into her adulthood, and it's kind of hard to watch. Like I'm like, Kate, come on. And then the actress they chose to play her, um, like she did a great job portraying this person, but if you see this actress in any other show, it's so hard to watch her be this insecure and be like, oh, am I really pretty? Let me, like, just constantly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just hard to
She
watch.
was like that in the book too, because the whole time she's like jealous of her friend anytime her husband even talks to her, even though the guy just slept with her like one time. But like up until the point of her death, she is still doing this for years. Like she's like, if you want to marry her after I'm dead, I suppose you can. And he's like, what? He's like, no, like it's so bad. Like the whole time I'm just like, oh my God, here we go again with this.
It
Did
was
you
it was like painful.
did you catch in this book too how Kate, I think it's actually Katie, but anyways, Kate cried when they kissed, when she kissed Johnny for the first time? Okay, so
Yes.
Kelly, I've read two or three other books by her, and the same thing happens in all the books. And it's like how you know you're in love if you cry when you kiss for the first time.
Oh my God. That makes me like want to crawl out of my own skin.
I know.
Like, why is that a unit of measurement? I'm not doing that.
Kelly, I think you're already done with that. Like,
Well, according to this girl, I'm not in love. So when that happens, I'm gonna be like, no, no,
I feel like we're more apt to like maybe laugh or tell them they look ugly, like throwing
yeah,
an
I'm not gonna
insult
not
instead
gonna
of
like start crying.
like, okay, hypothetically, okay, I'm a dude, okay? She cries when I kiss her for the first time. Where do you go with that after? Like, how does that moment end? How do you continue to the next moment as that's happening? Like, what is the conversation after that?
Yeah,
How
wouldn't
do
you
you
kind of be like freaked out? Like be like, oh, this girl is crazy, or I don't
like
know.
is she crying? And then like what? You're supposed to be like, wasn't that magical? I can tell by your tears. Like, no.
no,
Oh my
red
God.
flag. Big old red flag to me.
So many red flags. Okay, here's a good word for that, Kate. She's almost like whimsical in a sad way. Like,
That's not good.
like she wants to be whimsical, happy, and she just poor execution. She just, yeah. So,
Also, they like Tully's mom in this show. I just randomly thought of that. They like hang out with her,
What?
oh,
and
when they're
she's like,
young.
yeah, and she's like real cool
She's
and
like a
Yeah.
stuff.
druggy, like really shitty
Yeah.
in the book. Like never there,
I
always
mean, she
leaving
she
her.
is too, but they
They make
like
them
hang
more
out
like
with her.
when they're young, they're like, oh, your mom's cool. And they give her kind of like a hippie, um, free wild child vibe.
Hmm. Is her grandma, is Tully's grandma in the show?
No,
She, yeah, there's a
she
flashback
was in
where,
the very beginning.
yeah, it's not much. I mean, there's not like
Yeah,
a
it was
whole,
like 2 episodes maybe.
Dang. Well, I don't think I'll watch the show. It's like really different.
It's
it's
very
basically a
dramatic.
completely different show than the book. Like, so if you want to watch two different or watch something different than you read just by the same name, there you go.
Yeah, I feel
They're
like
having
Corey
another
was
season.
probably
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. I feel like Corey was like so annoyed because every time something would happen, I would be like, that didn't happen in the book. And I said that like
In
so
the
many
book,
times.
did he like go to Iraq or Afghanistan? And
Yeah.
okay, we did all that.
But yeah, he did. Did he get like blown up in the show?
Yeah,
Because he was like talking about going, and that was when I stopped watching it. But
that was
He then
another
turns
instance.
out to be fine though. Like he goes to Germany to hospital, comes
Mhm.
home,
yeah,
has some like rehab, and then he's fine.
Yes, but on the other hand, Kate saw that as maybe he's falling back in love.
Oh, they were divorced at that point?
Hmm.
they were
Oh,
divorced in the like second episode, weren't they? I mean, they've been divorced the whole time I'm watching, or at least separated.
They'd been divorced for like a bit. Like it was kind of the norm. Like it wasn't like their kid was like, why isn't dad at dinner? Like she already knew dad wasn't going to be at dinner.
Dang.
The
Did
kid was like
Johnny ever get
college.
with Tully again?
I don't think so.
Dang, all that worry from Kate for nothing.
Have you
Yeah.
read the synopsis for the next book though?
Mm-mm. Isn't it just about
Apparent,
Tully?
apparently Tully helps raise the kids with Johnny, is what I read. So I don't know, like I'm afraid to start it. After the last one was so like dramatic ending, I'm just a little bit like, ah,
Mm.
I don't know.
I think I will
I
end up reading
haven't.
it, but not anytime soon. Maybe it's
I
like,
read a lot of reviews that said like read it when you're in a good mood.
oh
Because if you're
no.
feeling down, it's not gonna help.
Hmm, good to
So
know.
basically, show is nothing like the book.
No. I mean, there's
That's
like a few things
definitely,
that are similar, but man, it was like left field.
they use the same names. They're Tully and Kate.
Hmm.
Yeah. And there's a TV show she runs, but
Good to know. Well, that's Firefly Lane, book versus TV show.
oh, we didn't do ratings.
Oh, yes. Pause. I rated it a B plus because I wouldn't read it again, but I did kind of binge read it, and it's a pretty thick book. And I
I
cried.
went with B minus.
B
So
I'll
minus.
give
I went with B minus. I really liked the beginning because I related to the people more, but then towards the middle, when they got older and they had kids, I didn't relate as much. So I found that part kind of boring. So that's why I went lower with B minus. So
um
yeah,
I'll give the show a C, maybe a C plus. Big name actresses, and he's popular too. I've seen him before. I don't know much about these people. Um, and then I like the flashbacks. Like I like the time period, like all the details to the clothing and stuff like that for it to be earlier. And I don't know, I like the flashbacks, not the modern day. And Kate, you gotta get a little more confidence there. Like, surely, come on.
I thought that Chris and Hannah did do a really good job of describing the time period. Like
yes,
it was
like
like
you could feel
fun.
like you were there.
Yeah, definitely.
Even like the house, like the decor of the house and like the carpeting and like their clothes. I thought that was really good. So I did like that part a lot.
Cool.